Gundagai is a small town in New South Wales, Australia. It's 390 kilometres southwest of Sydney, sits by the Murrumbidgee River, as well as the Munyong, Honeysuckle, Chemo, Mooney Mooney, Murrumbidgee and Tumut mountain ranges. The first mention of a Cootamundra to Gundagai extension was in a public meeting held on the 27th of May 1874, where a Mr. E. A. Fitzgerald moved the following resolution: that this meeting is of the opinion that the residents of Tumut should cooperate with the inhabitants of Gundagai and Adelong for the purpose of inducing government to construct a branch line of railway from Cootamundra to Gundagai. At this time, it was cheaper to obtain goods from Melbourne than it was from Sydney, but storekeepers in the area would be only too happy to establish a trade with Sydney. The station at Gundagai was officially opened on the 21st of July 1886. It was designed by Mr. John Whitten, the Engineer-in-Chief of the New South Wales Government Railways. In 1903, the branch line was extended to Tumut via Gilmore, formerly Killarney, following the completion of the railway bridge across the Murrumbidgee River floodplain. During the era of John Whitten as Engineer-in-Chief of the New South Wales Government Railways, there was a government edict for railway construction to use as much local materials as possible instead of expensive imported iron bridges. Whitten used stone arches and some brick arches, but mostly timber, in the form of laminated arches, timber beam bridges, and timber trusses. His successor was his deputy, Henry Dean, who, following a visit to the United States of America, instigated a policy of cheaper railway construction known as pioneer lines, beginning in the late 1890s. Most inland rivers were crossed by a new series of timber truss bridges based on the American Howe trusses. Only under special circumstances were steel trusses used. At Gundagai, there is a mix of both bridge policies. The main channel of the Murrumbidgee River had to be crossed by a high-level major steel truss bridge. But, in order to contain railway construction costs, the long, high-level viaduct across the floodplain was built from timber in the form of 77 deck trusses on timber trestles. The total construction had to be built first so as to provide access to South Gundagai and the railway construction beyond to Tumut. The line across the bridge and onto Tumut opened on the 12th of October 1903, with the first train travelling across on the 3rd of December 1903. The line as far as Tumut was suspended after severe damage during a 1984 flood, as well as Hume Highway works interfering with the railway alignment. The last train travelled across the bridge on the 26th of November 1983, and the line was formally closed in March 1985. The main passenger station building is a large timber-framed and weatherboard-clad single-storey structure with verandas to each main elevation and brick chimneys. It is a Type 4 standard roadside station design. The former signal box is a small timber-framed and weatherboard-clad building with a skillion roof constructed to house the track signalling control equipment, including an interlocking machine. It is situated on the platform. The goods shed is a standard side platform type timber-framed corrugated iron goods shed with iron bracketed roof eaves. It is of a sub-type 3 design, and its dimensions are 72 feet by 22 feet. Its gabled roof is slated, not iron, and is very unusual in New South Wales. It stands on a brick base with timber platforms and extended line platforms leading to the pillar crane. Inside the station buildings these days is a small and interesting museum accessible by donation. It is very much worth a visit. The station buildings are also on the New South Wales State Heritage Register. Today, the bridge is heritage listed, however with an uncertain future. In 2017, it was estimated that bridge repairs would cost upwards of $13 million, and conversion to a rail trail a further $6 million. There has also been talk of removing the sections of bridging that exist over the many roadways that cross below it. Either way, with the removal of the old timber highway bridge a few years ago, one can only feel nervous about the future of this unique and historic bridge. If you decide to visit the historic town and bridge of Gundagai, don't forget to visit the iconic Dog on a Tucker box located just down the road. So, if you made it to the end of today's video, don't forget to comment Dog on a Tucker box. Thanks for watching.